welcome in to be our guest. Jason, we had so much fun last time, and I learned a lot that I needed to know. Folks, we have with us Jason Walker, and Jason and his wife own, I love it, Pate Landscape. And let me be clear, they do commercial. They don't do your yard. It's not residential. He's coming in because they're our friends, and he's going to give us some tips to help us out to make our yards better. If you want somebody to take care of your residential yard, you should hire somebody that does residential. Am I right?
That's right.
Yay for once. But you know what? We talked about the damage the last time from all the freeze. This time, we're going to look forward to you said about April the 15th is a good time to start? Okay. About what do we need to do for spring?
Yeah. So we'll start with your pruning in April. You know, there's other things, you know, with putting out new mulch, you know, you want to wait till the leaves have fallen off trees. You know, if you're going to do pruning, you know, you're just creating litter that you got to clean up. So, you know, you wouldn't want to put new mulch down and then prune. Prune first, clean that up, and then put your new mulch down. You know, whatever mulch you choose, whether it's pine straw, pine bark, or rock, all that, just considered mulch.
For residential homes, do you have a recommendation? Is any one mulch better than another?
I like the pine straw. It stays in place. Yeah. It doesn't wash away. It's easy for the homeowner to go get some more of, you know, transport from the hardware store, wherever they get it from. And it's probably the easiest to deal with for a homeowner.
Now, I have heard that you don't want it like right up against your house because of bugs, but is that true or is that not true?
Yeah, not really true. I mean, bugs just do what bugs do. But yeah, but you know, if you have, you know, if your house has siding, you know, you don't want the mulch right up against there to keep it moist. You know, you can keep that away from the house just so you don't allow moisture to come into the house.
Okay. So what are the basic things when April comes that we need to do in a yard to prepare for spring and for our plants to do the best?
Yeah.
What about fertilizer? What about cleanup? Those things.
Yeah, the cleanup is probably the biggest thing. You know, let's just start fresh and get the beds clean, get things pruned, get the grass cut. You know, it would be helpful to be on a good fertilizer chemical program, you know, with a reputable company. It's difficult to do that all correctly on your own, and you just store all the chemicals and fertilizers there. There's some really good residential companies that can provide that service, and it's not that expensive. I would recommend getting on that service and get on it and stay on it. And they've got programs in place. You know, you can tell whose yard's on it and whose isn't.
You know what? That is a great example. Find a yard that looks good and then find out who takes care of it.
Yeah.
You're right, because you got to have somebody who's going to be consistent. You're in a whole different world in that you do only businesses. I mean, some of yours are...
Yeah, we do the EJI properties, we do Southern Poverty Law Center, we're doing City of Montgomery properties, and still growing in that. And some of our commercial installs, we do maintenance with that as well as part of the contract. So we'll have a year maintenance on those, and you know, I tell you, a lot of the large installs that we do, and the best they look is the day we leave, because people don't invest in the quality maintenance.
What about pruning? Because we're not doing it right now after the hard freeze. So teach me a little bit about pruning and what to prune.
So yeah, so you've got, again, we want to wait till the risk of freezing has passed, and then you're able to prune. You know, I don't have the whole list of plants in my head, but you know, you don't want to prune your azaleas because they're about to bloom on last year's growth.
Okay.
You know, your crepe myrtles bloom on New Year's growth. So it's okay to prune your crepe myrtles, but your azaleas, you don't prune them until after they bloom. Your spireas, same way.
Okay.
You notice those early spring bloomers, if you prune them, you're going to prune off all the blooms. Oh. And so the late bloomers, you can kind of generically prune those.
Okay.
But the early bloomers, you wait till they bloom and then you prune them.
What about fertilizer? When do I need to weed and feed?
So again, the Killing the Good program, there's a pre-emergent that needs to go down, you know, early in the year. So you put it down, you know, early winter. But then your fertilizer really doesn't come into play until the grass is actively growing and plants are actively growing. So, you know, May, June.
Okay.
So yeah, a lot of times, especially if you have a lot of weeds and you fertilize, you're going to have more weeds. your weeds are going to be.
Common sense, folks.
Yeah.
All right, one last question. Crepe myrtle. The murder everybody gripes about. Tell us the right way to take care of our crepe myrtles.
So a crepe myrtle is a tree. It's not a bush, and so they have all different sizes that they come in, anywhere from 5 foot to 30 feet. You need to choose the right crepe myrtle for your location and then let it grow, and it's a tree. It's not a bush. You know, you can't just keep whacking on it. It's not going to look okay. It's a tree.
Okay, because people really complain about that all the time.
Yeah, you need to choose the correct one.
Okay. Thank you so much. This has been really helpful. I just appreciate you coming to talk to us, the residents, when you do commercial. But if you have any commercial needs, call Jason at Pate Landscape. If you have a business, he can help you. If you have a resident, get yourself somebody who'll take care of it. And thank you so much.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it. Happy spring for everybody. And we'll be right back.